this? It's your wife.
I want the kids in bed by night. I want the dog fed, the yard watered, and the gate locked. And get a note to the milkman. No more cheese. Where the hell's Kramer?
So I found myself rewatching the classic comedy Airplane. As I was watching the movie, I decided to keep track of what scenes made me laugh the most and to talk about them. Now, if I really wanted to, this whole video could just be breaking down every single scene in the movie, stuff going on in the background, aneurysms of people, how they say stuff, how they react. This movie is a classic for a reason, but sadly I can't go through every single joke, so I did have to limit which jokes I include in this video. So if your favorite part of the movie did not make it on this video, include it down below. What part did I leave out that you would have put? Airplane is a 1980 American parody film written and directed by David and Jerry Zucker and Jim Abrams. It is a parody of the disaster film genre, particularly the 1957 Paramount film 0 Hour, from which it borrows its plot and central characters, also drawing many elements from Airport 1975. It is known for its use of surreal humor and fast-paced slapstick comedy, including visual and verbal puns, gags, running jokes, and obscure humor. Across the board, this movie is widely considered by most to be one of the funniest movies ever made, being given that title by numerous outlets and rankings over the years. So as I already said, this movie is a classic for a reason. It still holds up today, and it's sad that we don't get more movies like this. I feel like the spoof genre itself over the last 15 years has just died completely. This is a movie that from 1980 to now is still inspiring people to make comedy. So let's go ahead and run through some of the best parts, in my opinion, of Airplane. The first one up is going to be the autopilot being blown up.
Panic. On the belt line of the automatic pilot, there is a hollow tube. Now that is the manual inflation nozzle. Pull it out and blow on it.
What the hell's going on up there?
The valve could have been anywhere on this inflatable autopilot, but it just had to be in the most awkward spot that they could have made it. This next one is something that I didn't know was from a movie already, a certain scene, and they are literally pulling that same scene and making fun of that bit. And it's the two kids drinking coffee together.
Excuse me, I happened to be passing. I thought you might like some coffee. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Well, won't you sit down? Thank you. Cream? No, thank you. I take it black. Like my man.
The most simple line someone could ask, "Are you nervous?" turns into one of the funniest moments to me of this movie.
Nervous?
Yes.
First time.
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
This next bit of Airplane that I'm going to bring up as one of my favorite, funniest parts is something that when I was younger watching this, I didn't really pick up on and it wasn't funny to me. But over the years, I've grown to love this scene, and it's when Leslie Nielsen is talking to Peter Graves' character one-on-one.
Captain, how soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
No, I mean, we can't land for another 2 hours. Fog has closed down everything this side of the mountains.
Another one that went under the radar for me for my first couple viewings was the "what is it" jokes.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Certainly.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. That's not important right now. You see, the first officer is ill, and the captain needs someone to help him with the radio.
Another simple line of the stewardess explaining that they had a choice, two choices, one of steak and one of fish. And what is Leslie Nielsen's answer to what he had for dinner.
What was it we had for dinner tonight?
Well, we had a choice, steak, fish.
Yes, I remember. I had lasagna.
Next up, we have the classic scene of the disco scene, and we have objects being thrown and being boomeranged back. We have people being thrown up in the air for long periods of time before getting caught. We have characters jumping and swinging on each other. And then within the background, the fog just starts to get more and more heavy as they're doing all this dancing and juggling even. This movie does have a running joke throughout the whole entire movie. It starts off with a man simply calling for a taxi.
I'll be back in a minute.
Well, I'll give him another 20 minutes. But that's it.
That man definitely has some patience, and it just makes it funnier that midway through this movie, they cut back and remind you that he's still in the cab. All right, so you're probably sitting there and you're saying, Trace, there's still one more. The most famous line from this movie has not been on this list, and you know it was going to be on here, but I had to put it last because it was so obvious. All the jokes in this video are not in any order of my favorite, but this is my number one. I think this is a lot of people's number one. Do Not Call Me Shirley.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I really hope that you have seen Airplane before, because if you're watching this video and you haven't seen Airplane, I just ruined a lot of hilarious scenes for you and you're watching them out of context. So, if you saw these scenes out of context and you're sitting there thinking they were not that funny, you need to stop and go watch Airplane right now, and within context, the scenes will be funny, I promise you. If you have seen Airplane before, you love Airplane like me, you laughed while watching this video, go ahead and include down below what was your favorite scene. And if I did not include your favorite scene in this video, which one did I leave out? There's a lot of stuff with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I left out the scene of him having a drinking problem. From start to finish, this movie is perfect, it's hilarious, it's very funny. And something that's rare for a comedy is multiple viewings of the comedy and then you still having that same reaction as if you're watching it for the first time. That's really rare for a comedy, especially one from 1980, which over 30 years later is still delivering the laughs.
Surely you cannot be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. Airplane.
Star Wars,